Here's how you can create links and link to different documents and web pages using the HTML editor. I have first opened a page in the HTML editor, and I'm going to first show you how to create text-based links. So here we have a word from any computer. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this text, and I will go to the Edit Content tab. And in this area, there is a hyperlink section for creating anything from a hyperlink, which is linked to pages or documents, emails, if you want somebody to click on a link to email you, and anchor links, which will allow you to, within the same page, link to a location of the same page. So if somebody clicks on a link, it will scroll down to that area. So let's go ahead and start with the hyperlink. I have covered over the text that I want to link, and I will click on the chain link. The broken chain is to break a link if there was a link attached to that text. I'll show that to you in a second as well. So I click on the chain link. And in this case, what I want to do is I want to link to another web page. If I wanted to link to another URL, say a website outside of the site, such as Google, I would have to go in and type in the full URL, http://www.google.com. But in this case, what I want to do is link to an existing web page within the site. So I will click on the browse site library, and this will give the listing of my web pages. And what I want to do is I'm going to scroll down and locate a page that I want to link to. So I will go ahead and do the release free website editing trial. So I will click on that. And if you notice, it's automatically added here in the link URL. And I can decide if I want it to be a target link. In other words, open within the same page if the user clicked on it, or if I want to open a new window or tab if the user clicked on it. In this case, I'm within the same website, so I want to just go ahead and leave it as the default, which is open in this window. And I can give a title or alt tag to the link as well. In this case, I'll just call it click for more info. Now, there's additional options here, such as pop-ups. You have the ability to do JavaScript pop-ups, and so if somebody clicks on it, it opens a new window as a certain size. Those are more advanced options. You may or may not decide to use them, but most often the general tab will serve the majority of your linking needs. So I'll go ahead and click Insert. And so there it is. I have now created a link, and if I scroll over it, I have given it a title tag, and I will be able to see that on a web page preview as well. And there's the tag, click here, click for more info, which I had added in. So that's how easily you can create hyperlinks. You can do the same thing to images. So let's say I have this image here that I had inserted before, and I want to apply a link to that. I could do the same thing. I could click on the image, and then I can go to the top and click hyperlink, or I can also apply email link or use the other option. So I'm going to go ahead and also attach a hyperlink to this as well. So there it is. In this case, what I want to do is I want to link to the easywebcontent.com website. In this case, I'm going to choose open in a new window, and I will give it a title tag. So there is my image that I have, a link that I have added to this option. And if you notice, there is a border around this image, and that's done by default to notify the user that a link is associated to that image. But cosmetically, I don't really like that, so let's go ahead and remove it. What I can do is I can click on the image, right click, I can click Insert Edit Image, and these are the properties of my image. And if I go under the appearance, this is for modifying the vertical space, horizontal space within the page or next to an element. But the border, if you see, is it's empty. And by default, that can mean a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 here, and I'm going to go ahead and update it. So there we go. Now we have a link associated to our image. If you notice, it's highlighted. That means there is a link. And if I click on the outside, there is no border associated. So it looks cosmetically So let's show you one more thing. What if you wanted to link to an actual document that you have on your computer that you want to have people download? Well, in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to, anytime you have files on your computer that you want people to access from your website, you need to first upload it to your website. And then you can associate a link to it, just like we did here with linking to web pages or other web. So let's go ahead and upload a document to our hosting account, to the site, and then we'll go ahead and link to it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the file manager. Now the file manager shows all the files and assets within my website. I can also scroll down to the bottom and I can create a directory if I want to. Let's say I wanted to put all my assets, files, and so forth over time I upload inside one folder to keep it organized, or I can go ahead and upload it directly within this area. I want to keep things organized, so I'm going to go ahead and create a folder, and I'm going to call it Documents. So I will go ahead and click Create. And if you notice, it says Documents was created successfully. So there is my folder that I just created through the EasyWeb Content File Manager. I've created a folder within my hosting account. I will click on that so I can access the Documents folder. And now I will go ahead and use at the very bottom the upload file to your hosting account. So I'm going to browse for a file on my computer and upload it to the hosting account. So I'm going to select a file on my computer. I will double click. And there it is, it's ready to be uploaded. And notice that I could do multiple files. So if I have multiple files I wanted to do, each time I select the browse, it will add another one underneath of it. This time I only have one file I want to upload, so I'm going to go ahead and click upload. And the upload process can take anywhere from a few moments to a few minutes, just depending on how big your file is and the connection is within your hosting account. And there we go, the file has been successfully uploaded. I've been notified. Now we can see the location of the file is under this URL /documents, and of course that's where the file resides. So let's go ahead and link to this document from one of our web pages. We're going to go ahead and access the page. In this case I'm going to do the enter web page URL, and I know exactly what my web page name is. And click edit. So here we are within the editor. I'm going to go and just insert a link at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and type something. And what I want to do is I want to associate a link to this. So the same way I link to a web page, I will go ahead and do the same thing here. I will highlight it, click on the hyperlink, and I will browse site library. And I see the listing of my files like the file manager, and there's my documents. And as you can see, there's a file that I had recently uploaded, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. Add a title. Titles are a great way for search engine optimization, by the way, when you associate with links. And I will go ahead and click insert. And there it is, I've created a link, so I can go ahead and test it. I can go ahead and preview. And I can scroll down. There's my link, and I can click on it. And there's a document that I had just recently linked to, and so it works and is functional. And if I'm happy with my changes, I can go ahead and click Save Page, or I can close back in my editor and do additional changes that I need to. And so that's how you can use the link feature to add link to your documents and pages and so forth. One last one is the anchors. You can also create anchor links. So the way the anchor links works is you would add anchors to the areas of your page that you want to link from the top to the bottom of. So let's say I want to insert an anchor at the very bottom next to the download reseller packet. So I put my cursor there, and then I will click on the anchor, and I'll give it an anchor name. I'll call it reseller, and click update. And notice we got a little tiny icon like an anchor that is placed there. That is so that the page would know where that anchor is placed, and now we will link to it. So we'll go to the top of our page. and we say reseller packet. And what I can do is now go ahead and link to this. So I will go ahead and use my hyperlink again. Now, instead this time of linking to a URL, I'm going to select from the anchor list. If I've created anchors such as I just did, it will be listed within this area for that page. So there's my reseller anchor. I'm going to click to that, and that automatically populates there. And so I can go ahead and click. So there's our link, and let's go ahead and preview the page and see how it works for us. And as you can see, I have my download reseller packet link that I added, and if I click on it, it should take me down to the location of the anchor text that I had added. So we'll click on it, and there we go. It scrolls down and takes us to the location of the anchor text. Now notice it didn't take us all the way to the very bottom, and that is because we are already at the very bottom of the page. So when you use anchor text, you got to remember that it depends also on the height of your page. So if your page is not tall enough, or the anchor text is at the very, very bottom of your page, the scroll can only go so far. So if there was more content between here and here, the anchor text would show up higher. We hope you've enjoyed the use of the links and hyperlinks within the Easy Web Content HTML editor, and you can take advantage of it on your own website.